Hey Ryan, this is Ben, America's Baseball Camp, just touching base in regards to your swing, watching your video from camp this past few weeks, and just wanted to go over a couple things that I see that you can work on as a professional instructor, and these are just things from my opinion. Doesn't mean they're right or wrong, or you're doing something right or wrong, just things that we can do to hopefully get you better, that we do for analyzing hitters all over the country, and look forward to spending a little time with your swing to break it down. Want to go and start with our stance. Let's back it up a few here. Been watching your swings here for a little bit. Want to go into our stance. Stance is pretty good. And the only thing I would tweak on your stance is I would probably take your toes and just turn them in just a hair. You can see that those feet are kind of out, and what I can tell by that is your knees are too close to your feet here. And what I would want to do is really have it to where your knees get just a hair more in. So just take about an inch on each side and just kind of turn your knees in, turn your feet in just a hair, so it's going to give yourself a little bit more power, a little bit more in regards to having more into your swing and getting more of power into the baseball at all times. The next thing I want to do is I want to go into what's called land foot, and you don't really have a stride, which is okay, but the only thing that's going to happen is you can see right as it begins to turn, that front hip begins to go, and you begin to go forward with our weights. You can see at this point right now that this is nice and bent, and that front foot is kind of open. What I'd like to do at this point of your swing is we got to keep your weight back. You can see that a lot more weight is forward on your legs than on your back, and that's going to get you to be around the ball a little bit. And right at contact, you kind of want to snap those hands. What I want you to do is I want you to get back more at contact here. So if I back it up, what I would want to do is just take a little teeny stride and just leave your heel where it kind of faces that way to hit against a closed, firm front side. Because usually at land fit, you don't go any farther forward with your head or your hips. So since you don't take a stride, it's hard to see that, but you can see that those hips go right forward, and then I'm on my front side where I don't want to be. I want to be more on my back side when I make contact. You can see how your head is more up towards your front foot there. What I would want to do is I would want this back foot probably to be right back here, and this is going to get your head, whoops, I need to do a line here. I would want your head more back in this area to get your hips back here and not be so much on your front foot. And I think that's going to help you to maybe separate your feet out just a hair. You can see they're a little bit close, and how I can tell that is your knees are a little bit too close together in here. If I measure in there with my knees, it's just they're too close together, and you need to widen those out. And it's going to get you stronger, and it's going to get you to stay back. One of the biggest things I see at contact here, I'm going to go to this next one, is I really want to teach you how to stay through the baseball a little bit better. And that one you did take a little step on, so that was better, but you almost took it too early. So you can see how you start here, and then we went into stride there. You want it to be a little bit closer where those kind of flow into sequence, where there's no pause. It's very important to have some rhythm as I hit. So if you're trying to get that front foot down early, that's good, but try to get a little bit closer to when you're going to swing so it kind of flows all together where you don't have that pause. And don't have it to where that heel just goes down. You can see as I go to swing, you can see that weight begins to go forward, and I can't hit against a closed, firm front side because I'm already taking my weight forward, and that's something that we need to work on in regards to our swing to make sure that it doesn't be able to do that for that front side. So there's that little step. Let's get to contact here. Okay, contact there was pretty good. Again, we're a little bit tied up on our hands. I can really tell that those knees are just too close together. So let's take that front foot and don't be afraid to take a little bit of a stride and get that front foot out there and really close off that foot to be a little bit longer. The biggest thing is I want to watch right now is I want to watch your hands, because what we don't do is we don't stay through the ball enough, and we really begin to cut ourselves off. You can see that we kind of do a hand snap here, and what I want to focus on is this palm up, palm down of your hand position. So at this, I want to focus on staying through the baseball. I want to keep going and keep my barrel in that zone. Whenever I was hitting, I pretended like there was the ball that I'm hitting, and that's the first ball, and then I imagined that there was one right behind it. And what you want to do is you want to not snap those wrists over, you want to snap those wrists through and get yourself to where you can stay through the baseball, because right when you hit it, your barrel begins to turn on you, and it goes out of the zone and starts going that direction. What we need to do is we need to stay through the ball better, because we cut your swing off. You can see we kind of cut ourselves off. Your palm's still up, but you're kind of cutting yourself off. You're not kind of snapping through it. What I would focus on, if I back up your swing here, what I would do is I would get 2 tees. I would do the tee right here, kind of somewhere there, and then I'd put another tee in regards to just hitting a tee right after it. And what you're basically doing is you're pretending that you're hitting 2 balls off the tee. So when you come through, you're kind of hitting both balls. And you get yourself, you can even put, as you get better, then you just move that tee, that second tee, more out in front. It's called the 2-tee drill, and a drill that I did with the Chicago White Sox organization that really helped me to stay through the baseball. Because once you hit, you really start coming out of the zone too much, and I really want you to stay through the ball, to really work on driving the ball the other way and getting you more power. It's going to separate your feet a little bit more, and having some more space in between your knees is going to give you more of that power as well. So work on balls that are away, that you can really drive the baseball away, and then work on balls middle and work on balls in. But work on your hand snap, where it's not a snap turn, it's a snap through. You're really trying to get behind the baseball and get through the baseball. We always talk about being short to it and long through it. And you really want to not snap over that top hand and really cut yourself off, because you finish kind of low. Try finishing higher as well. It might really help you to stay through the baseball better, compared to finishing low, where you kind of have to cut it off here. Let's see another swing here. Okay, that one's a little bit better, but you can see how close your knees are. We really got to spread those feet out and close off that front foot. If your heel, instead of having your heel right there, if your heel is more faced up here, it's going to get us stronger, but you can see that front foot's more pointing at the pitcher, and I want that front foot to be actually pointing more towards first base down here, but you can see there's that too much space in between. There's not enough space in between those knees right there. So, and let's check after contact. That one you did a better job, but see how we kind of still turn it a little bit? And it's almost like you can recoil your hands. If I go back here, once you get contact and you go through the baseball, then you can kind of you don't have to keep your arms straight. See how you're trying to keep your arms straight all the way through to stay through the baseball. What you want to do is as you go through the ball, after you go through it, you don't have to keep your arms straight anymore. Once you hit, boom, and I go through it, now you can begin to have those arms come back together and create 90-degree angles in those arms. But you almost want to try to keep those arms straight even over there when you don't have to do that, because that's going to take away power. Hitting's all about creating that whip action and creating bat speed. So you want to start just like where you start with 90 degrees in our arms right here. This is kind of how you want to end too. So if you start with these angles in our arms, you want to end with those as well. And you can see as you go to hit, you try to keep those arms locked way over here when you don't have to do that. So that's going to create bat speed, because you want to be short to it and long through it, but eventually you're going to have to recoil. After you hit through that second ball, then you kind of recoil and go back. So I think the main thing is for you is creating more whip action, getting better bat speed with your arms, and then widening out your feet, where you take a little bit of a stride and you get more power, you get more legs behind you, because your arms are a lot of what you're using for your swing right now, just because you're not engaging your lower half enough. So those are some things to work on. Watch this video a bunch of times. I gave you a lot of information, and you can kind of watch it at your own pace and watch it and start working on it off the tee and soft toss, so you can really control that environment. And we wish you the best this season. Hope to see you back in the camp real soon, and have a great season.